Hello, this is Chad from the Workshop Press Company. Today I'm going to run you through the features of the HM SBM-32F Pillar Drill from Scantool. The SBM-32F has a drilling capacity of 32 millimeters, thus the 32 moniker. It can do threading in steel of 16 millimeters and then in cast iron of 22 millimeters. The distance from the center of the spindle to the back of the column is 300 millimeters. You can see back here, there's a scale that tells you when it's precisely on zero. And the HM SBM-32F Pillar Drill from Scantool has a variety of nice standard features. And to start on the top here, it has a sud system that you can easily turn on and off. It has a 40-watt motor and a pump. And then it has a suds spigot here where you can precisely put your suds wherever you want them, wherever you're drilling, boring, tapping. Here you have high and low speeds for clockwise and anti-clockwise rotations. You have a drilling, boring mode, and then a tapping mode. The difference being is that when you get down to the bottom of the stroke, when you're in tapping mode, the spindle will automatically reverse and extract the tap. Here you have a work light. And you can turn it on and off at will. And you have an e-stop. In addition to the e-stop, you also have a guard that shuts down the spindle as soon as it's opened. You have to re-engage it after. And then on the side, you have the option for 6 different speeds. And as you can see here, you got low and high, which is adjusted here between low and high. You turn this knob accordingly. So for an example, if you wanted to go to speed 280, you put it in low, and then you'd move it into position 3 there. As you can see by the chart here, the speed range is between 7,500 RPMs up to 3,200 RPMs. One other nice feature is that for moving it, it has a through hole to put your bar through and lift it directly horizontally. Those holes are on both sides of the machine, so it goes straight through. It has a large work table that is 460 by 460 millimeters. And then the dimensions of the base are 620 by 450. As you can see, it also has T-slots in it. The overall dimensions of the machine, once it's out of the packaging, is 2,145 millimeters high. It is 620 millimeters deep and then 450 millimeters wide. One of the common questions we get asked is, what is the max distance from the nose to the table? So if you take this table and you bring it all the way down to the bottom, There, you hit the absolute bottom. The distance from the nose to here now is 720 millimeters. Then this table has DIN 650 T-slots in it, and then you put your T-nuts in there along with your bolts and any jigs, fixtures, vices that you may have, and then you can secure it to the table. There's T-slots in the base also, same sort of slots. You just simply spin this out of the way, and then you can mount your jigs and fixtures on the bottom here. The distance from the nose now to the base is 1,200 millimeters or 1.2 meters. The overall travel of the spindle from its upward position to the bottom is 150 millimeters. The SBM-32F has a heavy-duty three-phase motor that is 1.5 kilowatts. The HM SBM-32F from Scantool has a couple nice features on it. One of them being the safety guard on there. When you fire up the machine and you open up the guard, the spindle stops. Close the spindle. You can re-engage the spindle, and you can stop. There is a depth control on here for drilling and tapping, and that is adjusted by this thumb screw. You can adjust the depth all the way up to 160 millimeters in depth. I'll take this down to about 30 and I'll show you the auto feed feature, right? So the auto feed feature works like this. You hit the start button, and there's buttons on the end of this, on the handwheel here. So as you're pulling it down, you depress that button and it engages the auto feed. And you can see it feeding forward. When it gets to the bottom, it will stop and return. Okay, so it stopped forwarding and it returned to the top position. If you want to do it again, you bring it forward. It starts feeding again and hits the bottom. It'll return back to the top position once again. Okay, so the auto feed is controlled by these two knobs. You can either turn the auto feed on and off, and then you can control the rate of descension on with this knob. So the SBM-32F also has a tapping mode. You either have boring drilling mode or you have tapping mode. So I'll put it in a tapping mode and I'll turn on the spindle. And you can see there where the spindle's going in a clockwise direction. So what would happen there is you bring it down, and you can set your depth right here with that thumb screw right there, like I did in the previous section. When you bring it down, it hits the bottom, it automatically reverses. When it hits the top, it starts going clockwise. When I hit the bottom, so that would be as you go into the tapping, tapping the hole, it will automatically draw into the hole. And then when it hits the bottom, it will automatically reverse and spit the tap back out. Pretty common procedure in any sort of engineering application. The other thing you have here is on the end of the hand wheel, you can reverse the direction right there. So that's another way of doing your tapping.